Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about alternate fuel technology. I am Dr. J.Jayaprabakar, Associate Professor from Department of Mechanical Engineering, Sathyabama Institute of Science and Technology, Chennai. We all know that society uses energy for various purposes: transportation, communication, illumination, heating, ventilation, both in industrial and home needs. In this slide, we want to discuss about energy development as well as energy conservation and efficiency. Energy development is the field of science which actually groups all the activities related to getting energy from natural resources and to recover and reuse of those energies in an effective way. Energy conservation and efficiency measures reduce the demand for this energy development and can have benefits to society with improvements to environmental issues. These energy resources can be classified into two categories. We all know that: primary resources and then secondary resources. Primary resources are readily available on the earth, namely wind power, solar power, wood fuel, fossil fuels, coal, oil, natural gas, and uranium, which does not require any further operations to be used. Apparently, the secondary resources are those which needs some kind of secondary operations to be used, like electricity, hydrogen, and other synthetic fuels. And apart from these broad categories, primary and secondary energy resources, another important classification is the renewable resources. These sources are quite talked in nowadays, where the renewable sources have the capacity to recover on its own with a time which is significant by human needs. Examples: the hydroelectric power plants or wind power or any other natural phenomena where the humankind, within the humankind's lifetime, the energy can be regenerated. And biofuels are a typical category of the energy resources, which means the biomass conversion process. The biomass can be effectively converted into convenient energy containing substances. We can use three different ways for converting this biomass into biofuels: thermal conversion, chemical conversion, and biochemical conversion. The biomass conversion leads into three different kinds of energy fuels: solid, liquid, and then gas. These new biomass can be used for biofuels. The biofuels, in fact, increased in popularity because of rising oil prices and the energy security. In addition to that, the stringent emission norms. This graph shows us it is a 50-year figure starting from 1990 to 2040s. If you look at this, the coal has reached almost its constant progress compared to other thing. The renewables and other petroleum, other liquids are always in the increasing trend. Almost coal and nuclear are no more increasing trend even up to the year of 2040. What actually it figures out is there are no more exploration from the fossil fuels or from the nuclear fuels. We can remember that in India particularly, coal is the coal is satisfying our energy demand almost 65% of total energy demand. So we are in need to switch over to the other sources. We are in the process. Still, research has to be developed. We are now coming into the other section of this lecture: alternate fuels for automobiles. Alternate fuels comes under the biofuels, which comes under the biomass conversion. Alternate fuel as defined as here any material or any substance which is other than the petroleum oil, which is we are normally using. Ethanol, butanol, chemically stored electricity, hydrogen powered, methane, natural gas, wood, vegetable oils are all those the alternate fuel categories. The need for the development of alternate fuel sources has been growing daily basis, that the production of oil will no longer supply to the demand, as we discussed already. There are many kinds of categories of alternate fuels. Some of these actually comes under the category of renewable energy also. We have seen the renewable energy, what is mean by renewable energy. Renewable energy includes electricity generation for the home, while the term alternate fuels tends to refer to mobile energy, particularly for automobiles. So alternate fuel particularly the biofuels for automobiles, comes under renewable energy category only. With this information, I want to recall the terms like conventional, non-conventional. The listeners can able to understand the difference between conventional and non-conventional, renewable and non-renewable. Conventional are the systems which are all practiced for some long time. Non-conventional are the modern technologies. Renewable are if the humankind can regenerate the used energy in his lifetime, it is called renewable. Non-renewable are those are all not comes under. With this light, we can define the hydroelectric power plant or hydroelectric energy is a conventional plus renewable sources of energy. And these categories, this list gives us sources, alternate fuel sources, which are all used for mobility function, for particularly for automobile. If you are using the gasoline type biofuels, butanol as a direct replacement, ethanol or its mixtures, hydrogen internal combustion cars. If you go for the compression ignition engine, particularly the diesel type fuels, hemp seed oil fuel or other straight vegetable oils, biodiesels, the other options like natural gas, compressed or liquefied gas, propane, the synfuel, oil shale, plug-in hydroelectric vehicle. We can go for external combustion like steam engine cars, coal oven steam cars, organic waste fuels, waste gas, no combustion. If you go for electrical vehicle, solar cell, Teslas, hydrogen fuel cell liquefied or compressed hydrogen, maglev, air car working on compressed air, all those are all the categories of alternate fuels used particularly for automobile engines. Particularly, we want to study about the biodiesel, which comes under to drive any compression ignition engines or the diesel engines. What is meant by biodiesel? Biodiesel may be defined as alternate fuel source, which can be derived from plant oils or animal fat. The biodiesels are biodegradable, produce less emissions without toxic contents. And some studies has researched and proven that the biodiesel have better lubricating properties, which in turn increases the engine life as well as it gives good life to the engine materials also. In India, particularly, the Jetrobo and Pongamia are the leading biodiesel plant sources, and still research are going to use the other kind of biodiesel crops. But what happens to the normal or the conventional biodiesel crops like Jetrobo, Pongamia, Karanja, and others? Large land area requirement. You need to wait for a long period to cultivate the seeds or whatever may be the part of the plant to be cultivated. You require large land, nutrition, the total cost of the biodiesel production are the difficulties we are facing with the conventional biodiesel crops. In the present perspective, a non-edible source is required, and to overcome these difficulties, the land area requirement, nutrition, supply, cost and all. At present, the research on biodiesel production from the sources like algae, either macro or micro, waste cooking oil, WCU, or used cooking oil. In other words, the rice bran oil. Rice bran oil, in particularly in India, it is not a edible source practiced for our people from our people's side. Rice bran is a substance which is a byproduct when you are polishing the rice. So it may not be treated as a edible source. These three can be treated as important candidates to alternate to these conventional biodiesel sources. The perspective about the biodiesel research on IC engines, particularly this may be useful for the research scholars, academicians and PG students who are all pursuing biodiesel research on IC engines. A biodiesel research always require the biodiesel preparation. After biodiesel preparation is being done, the biodiesel can be tested in a conventional test rig, engine test rig like this. So the engine test rig, what we have in our Department of Mechanical Engineering Thermal Laboratory in Sathyabama Institute of Technology, where we can test a fully sophisticated engine is available for testing various parameters like performance parameters, which includes the brake thermal efficiency, brake specific fuel consumption, exhaust gas temperature, volumetric efficiency, combustion parameters, which includes the in-cylinder pressure variations, heat release rates, and of course the emission parameters, unburned hydrocarbons, carbon monoxide, smoke capacity, nitrogen oxides, and carbon dioxides. These are all very, very important emission parameters need to be studied. Now we shall see some of the latest innovations and technological developments in alternate fuels. We can go for testing our prepared biodiesel samples in the CRDI engines, the common rail direct injection engines, where we have a header to supply with a greater pressure, which the need for the biodiesel, high viscous biodiesel fuels, the HCCA operation, the homogeneous charged combustion ignition. We can go for testing or analyzing the spray characteristics of when we are operating with the biodiesel. We can visualize the spray with in-camera facilities. We can go for biodiesel preparation with the novel materials, novel catalyst. Normally, we are using the sodium hydroxide or the potassium hydroxide as a catalyst materials. We can go for some of the novel catalyst, some new materials like the nano catalyst can be used. Enzymatic transformation is one kind of the novel material available. Nano additives, the materials which are all used directly or the blended directly with the fuel samples. Nano additives, we can use many kind of nano additives are available: cerium oxide, aluminum oxide, iron oxide. We can go for optimizing the testing by using RSM and other optimization testings. We can trying out the alternate methods for producing biofuels like pyrolysis, the hydrothermal liquefaction, or any kind of alternate methods other than the transfer so that the other kind of biofuels may be also tested in engines. The question will be arised always in front of the research scholars or the academicians or even those who are pursuing biofuel research, whether the biofuel research is saturated. No, the answer, biofuel is still in its research way, still lot of informations to be explored. Some of the examples, the recent studies have shown, the recent developments have shown the biofuel research is still not saturated. Soybean powered bus operated in Europe. The next one is this one, the SpiceJet flight has been developed by Dehradun-based Indian Institute of Petroleum using Jetopa as the biodiesel crop. The flight was powered by a mix of 25% of this biofuel made from Jetopa and 75% the aeroturbine fuel. The SpiceJet has started flying the biofuel bombardier for about 20 minutes in Dehradun skies. The results have been very positive. According to preliminary studies, the power from biofuel was even better than regular aviation turbine fuel, the ATF. And one more example in the local, a plant inaugurated on 2020, which can fuel more than 1,000 vehicles per day in Salem Namakkal region. According to a government statement, it is a compressed biogas plant was inaugurated by Tamil Nadu Chief Minister on 2020. The compressed biogas fuel stations were also inaugurated in various places in the state, an official statement said. With all this and one more, the used cooking oil, as already we mentioned in the alternate fuels, various alternate fuel sources, the used cooking oil, an agency which actually the RUCO, as per the FCCEI, they are collecting the used cooking oil from the restaurants, small hotels, even from the homes also with a nominal amount. Then they are recycling it into biodiesels. So, repurpose used cooking oil. RUCO is the name actually. It is an initiative launched by FSEA that will enable the collection and the conversion of used cooking oil into biodiesel. This FSSAI believes that our country has the potential to recover 220 crore liters of used cooking oil for the production of biodiesel by this year through coordinated action. While biodiesel produced from used cooking oil is currently very small, but a robust ecosystem is need for converting that, and the collection is rapidly growing in India, and will soon reach a sizable scale as per the studies taken. So with this, we can conclude our session like the biodiesel research is not saturated. Actually, still lots more exploration to be done. Not only the edible oil, the non-edible sources are also in need, particularly the algae, rice bran, and then used cooking oil. Thank you for listening. Thank you.